So I'm going to be doing some free motion quilting on my Juki. This is sort of, if you've been following along in my channel, oops, sorry. This is sort of, oh, geez. This is sort of a product review. You don't really have to be watching it as such, because it's not necessarily a tutorial. There's a couple of quite a few people on Facebook and on YouTube who are following the actual Juki, the sewing machine, the Juki domestic machine tutorials, and that's geared more for those people. I'm going to be showing those people who are interested in the Juki machines exactly how I free motion quilt, but I'm experimenting actually on my Lone Star quilt here, so if you've been following along, you can just go over this because it's a little bit more technical what I'm doing, showing you my machine. So first of all, I'm going to be demonstrating my free motion quilting on my Lone Star, and as you've seen before, I'm using my stencils. Very quickly, I'm using a stencil to stencil in this corner, the setting triangle here. And what I'm going to be doing is I've used it on each one of my corner blocks, and I've been using a variegated thread. So what I do is I actually take my stencil from the stencilcompany.com or quiltingstencils.com, and I'm using my chalk powder from Hansi Quilt Pounce Hansi. You fill the reservoir here with chalk, and it has a powder, a sponge powder. And what I do is I center this. It's a full stencil, but I'm only doing a half of it on my thing. What I do is they say to pounce, which is fine. I'm using a white chalk, and I'm using it on black, so it's like unbelievable. It works up really beautiful on my black fabric here, as you will see. Just go along and rub. I just rub, pounce. There's chalk. It's coming out of that pad, and it's going onto my design. And the chalk lasts long enough to quilt out your design, and even as you're quilting, it disappears. At the very end, you can just brush off the residue or a damp paper towel, and it's gone. Wonderful for marking for free motion quilting. There is my design. Like, oh my word. Now I'm going to take this over to my machine, and I'll show you how I actually have my Juki set up for my free motion quilting. So I've set my camera up. I'm behind my camera. I'm going to see if I can do this for you Juki people. Again, this is my TL2200QVP Mini. I've set this up for free motion quilting. And I've actually, I want to show you, actually, somebody said, could you please show me how to thread the machine? As you know, I have my thread guide here, but and I will be doing that very quickly. It's not necessarily how to thread it, but I will be showing you now how to do that. Try to keep my hands out of the way. I don't know how if I can do that. There's many tutorials on threading this machine, and actually you really have to be precise, obviously, with this Juki. I've set it up for free motion quilting. I have my bobbin in here. I've pulled my bobbin thread up. Again, very important. I have my feed dogs down. This is the knob to put the feed dogs down, so there's none of these teeth going along. I have my setting at 0. Now I'm going to show you how I thread the machine. I put my thread in. This is a variegated thread. I put my thread in here, and I'm going to thread it up through the thread guide. Okay, I'm just going to bring this down because I want to show you the real important part here. Hopefully I can do this. I brought it up through the thread guide. Now what I do is you bring the thread from the top down into the first hole. Now this is really weird. I don't know why they say to do it this way, because it makes no sense why there are 3 holes there. I don't know. You bring it down, and then you bring it back up into the 3rd hole, and you bring it down again. Okay? So you have it here. Now, this is called a subtension. There's a disc back there, right there. So you sort of threadle it in behind that disc. behind and in between. So then you're holding it. Now you bring it down to this tension here. I have my tension set at 2 for my regular stitching, and I have not touched that for free motion quilting. Now I'm going to sort of be holding just gently. I'm going to threadle this thread here through those 2 discs. Very, very important. I'm going to threadle it through and sort of floss it through. Floss it through. Now I'm holding here. I'm going to come up, and there's a spring here, this little wire thing. You come up and you put it, you catch that spring. See that? You catch that spring there. Then you come down holding it. There's a thread guide here. You put your thread around the back of that thread guide. Whoops, I'm on the side here. You're in the back of that thread guide, okay? You're underneath and the back of that thread guide. So now what you're going to be doing is you're going to be putting your thread in this thread guide here. You can hear it go bing, and then you're coming up and you're putting it behind your lever, which is, oh, very, very important. You're always threading your machine with your feet, your presser foot up, and this at the very top. Then you're going to come back down and you're going to ding it into that, ding, you hear that? Into this thread guide again. Then you're going to come and there's a thread guide down here, and you're going to threadle it in there. And then there's a wire. Let me come on this side. I've been doing it on that side. Then there's a wire right in the back here. Just right there. Now, I'm not going to show you how to do the automatic thread guide, because I don't know how to do it. I'm messing about and I'm messing about and I'm messing about, and I probably won't be able to do it. When I go to thread a machine, let me get my scissors here. I was taught years and years ago that you always cut your thread sort of on the diagonal at a slant, and then you obviously you've always seen people wet their threads, but I was told to sort of dampen your fingers and wet the needle. Now I probably won't be able to do it because I'm on camera, but pretty quickly, and the camera's in the way, I won't be able to do it. But like if I was like really right in front of this, I'll be able to thread this needle very, very quickly. And the Juki gets threaded left to right, left to right. This is unusual because most needles also go from the flat bit back. But the Juki, the flat bit is to the side. So you have to be very, very careful. Now my machine came, as my product review, my machine came with the organ needles. I actually substituted a Schmetz top stitch needle. And it's been stitching out beautifully this cotton thread. Now I have in the bobbin, I have Aurifil 50 weight thread in the bobbin, which I threaded along here. Threads beautifully, quite a lot in the bobbin. But this thread here, I have quite a bit of it. This thread here is YLI Machine Quilting 40 weight 100% mercerized cotton that I have. It's a variegated thread, which it just stitches out beautifully. Really, really nice thread. I have found that this is temperamental with different threads. I loved, let me see, I loved my sulky thread. I loved this variegated thread here. Maybe because it's rayon, maybe I haven't experimented with a needle too much. I need a larger eye needle. Although a top stitching needle has a large eye, this is shredding on me. It's shredding and breaking. So unfortunately, this is beautiful thread. I love this sheen. I just got the machine, so I will be experimenting to use my sulky variegated rayon thread. But for now, to quilt this out, I'm using this 100% cotton, which is beautiful. I've also had luck using my connecting threads thread. I have gotten a lot of connecting threads. Hold on. The connecting threads, essential threads, 100% cotton threads. This is 50 weight. Is that 50? Yes, this is 50 weight cotton threads that I have used on this quilt also in my star. But for my black setting triangles, I'm using the 40 weight here of this YLI. But I love this thread. I think it's like $2.79 on sale or something. It's an unbelievably beautiful thread that I've been using on this quilt here. So that's how I've threaded my machine. That's how I've set it up. I always do it practice, even after I thread my machine, I'll always do a practice sandwich just to make sure before I start quilting on my quilt. Very, very important. Now I'm going to show you how I actually free motion quilt on my actual machine. So I'm ready to stitch out this pattern here, as you saw me stencil it out. Now on my Juki, I'm so impressed. It's a little machine. It's a tough little machine. I hear it's a little workhorse. Well, it's proving to be such. This actual throat harp, I don't know what they call it, is quite large from needle to over to here. I quite like it. I had a large brother, VQ3000, which had almost 11.5 inches. This isn't quite that, but man, this is an 80-inch quilt, 80-inch square quilt. So I only, from the center, I had to get 40 inches into here, and I did it quite easily. People are always like, oh, how do you quilt your quilts? But I'm like, you get the right little machine and you can do it with some smushing and shoving. So here I am. Again, I don't mean to diss this not automatic, this manual thread feeder thing. I've only had my machine for a week. I found it's too messing about, and it doesn't take me all that long to actually, as I said, I dampen my thread end and I dampen the needle and I thread it from left to right. So I've done that now. I'm going to be stitching out this, and as I said, I've set my machine up for free motion quilting. I'll bring my needle down and then I'll bring my thread up, my bobbin thread up, and put my presser foot down. My threads are over here. I always just take 1 or 2 stitches to secure it, and then following my stencil, real easy. I mean, real easy. It takes the whole guesswork. And I keep this nice and loose around here. And with free motion quilting, I find it very important. You just free motion quilt right in front of you. Like, you just keep smoothing right in front of you. And then with the stencils, it makes it real easy. So this is a variegated thread. I already have done my practice stitch, my practice to make sure my stitching, because every time I'm realizing every time you threadle your machine or you put a new bobbin in, it's very important. I didn't have that with my computerized machine, but perhaps with this manual machine, you really have to make sure that everything is absolutely precise, which is wonderful, and it's doing a beautiful stitch. Now I'm stitching out my stencil again with this variegated thread, and as you know, with free motion quilting on any machine, you are the stitch regulator. I choose not to wear gloves. I've addressed that before. I quite like to use my own hands to guide my fabric. Free motion quilting, you obviously have to go back on yourself. It's not like hand quilting, whole different animal. The stitch quality on this Juki, having messed about with it for a while, is beautiful. It did not come out of the box perfect. I think I was saying in my product review, I messed around with it. It doesn't like certain threads, which annoys me, but that's what it is. I've only had it for a week, and I'm going to have to, get used to it. Oh, a very handy tip from another Facebook page, actually. A woman said she uses her machine in the day, and then she cleans it out and of an evening time and oils it. You have to oil this a whole bunch. I never had to do that in my life. But she oils it at nighttime. She puts a drop of oil or a couple drops of oil in each one of the little holes on her Juki, and it works beautifully. And I like that. I like that. I don't want to be messing with oiling it and having it oil out, on my fabrics. But of course, I come back and again, I do a stitch, I do a practice. And so I haven't had any nasty mistakes that the bobbin is looping or the tension is all messed up. So here I am with this variegated thread. Look how pretty. It's so pretty. I love variegated thread when you're free motion quilting, because people will think you're so clever. And people don't quilt, they'll go, oh my word, like she quilted orange, and then she quilted yellow, and then she used blue thread, and then she used green. They don't have a clue. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was really clever. So I'm just gonna, this one goes, this is every color. This is orange and red to yellow to purple to black. Very, very pretty, this YLI. I've never used this before, but as I was saying, my sulky was disappointing me, so I quickly went on Amazon. I did some reviews, and I liked this 100% cotton thread. Oops, I missed a feather. I got to go back. I was busy talking. There's my feather. I love my stencils. Because look, my word, look how quickly this entire pattern has worked up. Just a few minutes of quilting. I'll come back to sort of fill this in. And look at that pattern, how it's quilted up. And again, as you can see, the chalk stays enough to quilt it out, but then I'll probably come back with a damp cloth, and then it's gone. The chalk is gone, and make that black really pop again. Just a damp paper towel, and then but the chalk stays long enough. It's wonderful on the black. So anyway, that's my Juki. That's my lovely, fabulous little machine. I hope you Juki people, you know, there's some, you know, help there. I love it so far. It's been wonderful. It's been awesome. But I will keep letting you know what I find out and how I love my little Juki. So that's, again, my little mini review of my mini. So thanks, folks. Bye.